Sleep is your station for inspiration, encouragement, and refueling. Here we will discover together what it means to live a victorious life with your host, Victoria Henderson. I want you to know that you are not alone. So sit back, relax, just for a little while, and let's talk about it.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm listening to the music and just rolling along. Yes. Good evening, everyone, and welcome, once again to Living Life Victoriously. Let me take a few minutes to share the broadcast and say good evening. Good evening, Paula. Good evening. All right. Yes. Hello. Please like and share. Oh, my goodness. All right. I just took a few minutes to share it one more time in the one more place, and then we're going to move on. Hey, good evening, Paula. Thank you so much for being here. I am your host, Victoria Henderson. Whew. And this show is streaming live on Facebook on ALH Broadcasting, as well as streaming live on YouTube on the Streaming Inspirational Broadcasting Network. I am here every second and fourth Monday with you. Welcome once again to all of you victorious ones. Hey, Paula, again, how are you this evening? Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. So go ahead and like and share tonight's program. And while you're at it, go ahead and click on the notifications so that whenever a program from ALH Broadcasting and SIBN is on, you will be notified. We must share good news, right? And the good news is that we can live a victorious life. That's why I'm here, to help everybody recognize that. And as we're on this journey together, we don't have to wait until we get over to the over yonder or by and by. We can be happy, we can be healthy, and we can be whole as we navigate this journey together. I'm so glad you're doing great, Paula. It was good seeing you today, even for a brief second. Why don't we ever have lunch together? I'm not understanding. We got to do better than that. So moving into 2024, we got to be able to spend some time and just take a pause. Sometimes I just don't take a break and I work straight through. Got to do better than that. So again, we got to be happy, healthy, and whole. And that means taking some breaks. And we are in the same building, friend. So we got to take some lunches together. So if we have to make a calendar meet, let's do it. Yes, we will do better. So how has everyone been since we last talked? It seems like it's been a long time since we've been together. But October had 5 weeks in it, so it was an extra week in between. And with me being on the second and fourth Mondays, it was just how it goes. But I pray that you have been well, like I said, in your soul, body, and mind. That is my wish for you all. Yes, Paula, we will do better. Well, we pause again tonight to remember people suffering in Israel. We pray for relief and peace. And let's also say a prayer for those that may be misplaced during this holiday season. We're right here at the end of the year, and we're in the thick of, right now, we're in the holiday season. We're getting ready to slide right into Thanksgiving, and after that is Christmas. And I heard on the news this morning, I believe it was this morning, I heard a news about a fire right here in my city where there has 30 people are without a home tonight. So, there's trouble happening all around, but we just ask God to bless them. And I understand, and I was reminded today that it was World Kindness Day. Did you know that? It was World Kindness Day. So not just on one day, but I want us to remember to be kind every day because we don't know what people are going through. And just a reminder to be considerate and think about others who are less fortunate. And my church is involved in sponsoring a local community for Thanksgiving. We're going to make sure that each home in that community is going to have a box for their Thanksgiving dinner. We're going to include food yams, the cranberry sauce, and I understand maybe I don't know if it's the turkeys too, but definitely the sides and things like that. Complete Thanksgiving dinner for everyone in this community, and I just feel so proud of my church for being able to do that. And we just don't know what people are going through. And when I was reminded that this was World Kindness Day, I didn't even know there was a World Kindness Day. Did you know? I did not. I did not know there was World Kindness Day. Well, just remember to be kind. And that's just another reminder that there are some things people going through every day. There's some things I'm going through that I just won't tell everybody. So I have to remember that today was a particularly rough day. It seemed like people were not adhering to the policies and procedures. Almost every hour on the hour today was one problem after another. And I had to remind myself to be kind because I was needles and pins. I was not as kind as I should have been. So I'm talking to myself too. Well, tonight I want to talk about how the time has changed again for us on the East Coast. Once again, it's daylight savings time. And since it's the fall, we changed the time back 1 hour, which now means it gets darker earlier. So what I want to talk about tonight is a disorder that has affected me. I didn't realize that until I looked this particular disorder up and realized that I have it. And it occurs, like I said, during this time of year because it's darker longer. Since it gets darker earlier, the hours that it stays darker is longer. And some people get what is called SAD, SAD. They're actually sad, but the order is called this disorder is called seasonal affective disorder. And it's kind of ironic that this happens also during the holiday time. And sometimes we have people who take the holidays a bit roughly. It's not easy as they reflect on holidays past and know that there are people who are no longer with them. So they're doubly sad on top of that. But sad is different from normal, I miss my family sad, okay? So has anybody heard of it? Paula, have you heard of it? Is anybody else out there watching today? Have you heard of SAD? And do you know anyone with it? I know about 2 people with it, and I'm one of them. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit because I believe that being aware of certain things like this will help. Really? Really? No? Okay. Well, since you've never heard of it, look, that means somebody else hasn't heard of it. So this is going to be informational tonight and just a reminder that there are these disorders that are linked to this change of time. So I'm going to read to you what it is. And as always, I'm coming with a definition about what it is. So seasonal affective disorder, and then acronym for is, those are the words that mean SAD. And it is a disorder. It's a type of depression. It happens during certain seasons of the year, most often the fall or the winter. It is thought that the shorter days and less daylight may trigger a chemical change in the brain, leading to symptoms of depression. And here's what you need to know about SAD. Depression is different as a whole from just feeling sad or unhappy. It is not a sign of personal weakness or condition that can be wished away. Let me say it again. It is different from feeling sad or unhappy. It is not a sign of being personally weak or a condition that can be willed or wished away. So if you find yourself feeling particularly sad, sadder than normal, it is not something that's going to go away, or it's not a sign that there's something seriously wrong with you. There is a chemical disorder in the brain. So who is at risk for SAD? Who is at risk? And it said that SAD usually starts during adulthood. The risk of SAD increases with age. And it says it's rare in people under 20, and that women are more affected than men. Wow. But it's not saying that men cannot have it. It's just that women are more affected by it. And I am getting my information from hopkinsmedicine.org/health. Again, from the website, hopkinsmedicine.org/health. But you can Google it and find it anywhere, because I literally found plenty of topics. Plenty of websites that talked about SAD. And again, what causes it? We talked about the less sunlight and shorter days, and it's linked to that chemical imbalance in the brain. And they said melatonin, which is a sleep hormone, has also been linked to SAD. The body naturally makes more melatonin when it's dark. So when the days are shorter and darker, more melatonin is made. That made perfect sense to me. It's been a few years ago, but I did notice that when the time changed and it's darker, I just wasn't feeling quite myself. I just, you leave for work, it's light, and you get home, you better turn that light on because it's dark, and it's dark. Dark. It's not just plain dark, it's dark. And I found myself being a little under the weather. That's how I put it. And I attributed a little bit to my fibromyalgia. I thought it was related to that because I have a little anxiety and a little depression with my fibromyalgia as well. And I thought, well, it's cold. It got a little colder. It was darker. But then somebody told me about SAD, and I realized that this is it. So let's talk about what are some of the symptoms of SAD. There are two types of SAD. There's one that happens in the fall and one that happens in the spring. That's new information for me. I didn't know about spring. But in the fall onset, it's called winter depression. It begins in the late fall to the winter early months and eases off during the summer months. And then in spring, it's called summer depression. Symptoms of depression begin in late spring to early summer, but this type is less common because the SAD is really attributed to the darkness. And the following are the most common symptoms of SAD: increased sleep, daytime drowsiness, loss of interest in pleasure and activities that you formerly enjoyed, social withdrawal, increased sensitivity to things, irritable and anxiety, feelings of guilt and hopelessness. You may be fatigued, have low energy. They also say there's decreased ability to focus or to concentrate, trouble thinking clearly, increased appetite, especially for sweets and carbs, weight gain, and physical ailments such as headaches. These symptoms tend to come back and then improve at the same time every year. And that's a good component to know it's SAD if you recognize that you're having these things during this time of year. And as I said earlier, it's ironic that it happens right around the holidays. So a lot of people may have attributed to the holiday blues. Well, let's look at how SAD may be diagnosed. Depression often happens with other conditions, so sometimes it's overlooked, and it may also happen with some other disorders. For these reasons, early diagnosis and treatment is key. A diagnosis of SAD may be made after a careful mental health exam and doing some medical history done by a psychiatrist or other mental health professional. And how is it treated? The treatments for this winter depression often differ. And may include any combination of the following. People may do an exposure to sunlight. They feel like, if you spend some time outdoors during the daylight or near a window can help alleviate these symptoms. And I tell you what, I am so grateful. I was moved into an office and I have a window, and it really has made a difference for me. It's so bright in my office that I do not have to put the light on. I have a little lamp, but the sunlight comes through the window, and I'll be honest, that's when I lose my focus because I'm looking out the window. It's a nice little view with the trees and the sky. You see, I like skylines and stuff. And I'm looking out the window like, okay, focus. So I have a sticker on the top of my computer that says focus. So, okay, some of the treatments. Exposure to sunlight. And they said light therapy. If increasing sunlight is not possible, there can be an exposure to a special light for a specific amount of time each day that may help. Wow, I didn't know that either. Let's see what else. Psychotherapy, counseling. and also antidepressants. There can be some prescription medicines that can help correct that chemical imbalance. And again, this is nothing to be ashamed of. I am on an anxiety med myself, and it helps me stay calm because that chemical imbalance that I'm dealing with as far as the fibromyalgia, those meds actually help. So I encourage anyone to get help. If you think you may be depressed, see a healthcare provider, see a doctor as soon as possible. Set some realistic goals in light of your depression. Learn not to take on too much. Break up large tasks into small ones. Set priorities and do the best you can. And what I hear in all that is practice self care. Be aware of what is going on with you and then take steps to take care of it. Says try to be with other people and confide in someone. If you have a friend, somebody that you can talk to, it is better than being alone and secretive. That is a big one for me. That's a big one for me. My pride. Thank you, Paula. I appreciate that. My pride would not let me tell others about it. And that's why I'm speaking about it tonight, because it's only in being transparent and talking about these things that somebody else may be comfortable enough to say, you know what, I'm going through that too. And if Victoria can talk about it, I yeah. And then this is again part of living our lives victoriously, is understanding what is going on with us. And if there's something wrong, take steps to take care of yourself. And this is something I don't do. So this is talking to me, get regular exercise. I'm not too good on that. So we're going to try to do better about that too. Paul, we can go walking too. And do some things that make you feel better, that make you feel good. Going to a movie, they talk about gardening. I would never do gardening because that doesn't make me feel better. Or, taking part in your religious, social, or other activities may help. And that is a good one. I find that the more I sometimes don't go to church and just try to stream online, I feel worse. Yes, let's go walk into the yes. I feel worse. And I actually did make it out to service on yesterday, and it was amazing. It was one of those services where we never got around to the preaching because the praise and worship was so high. You could feel it. It was palatable. And my bishop did not walk through that moment. He recognized that in that moment, there was some healing and some release going on and some breakthroughs. And so we just worshiped. We just worshiped our Lord and Savior. And it was beautiful. And that has actually encouraged me today. It really has. And gave me the strength to talk about this because I had not been feeling so great. And I don't want anybody to know. Everybody, I just feel like I just don't want people to feel sorry for me. That's the bottom line. And that's actually, I guess, a little selfish. I don't want to appear that I have a disability, that I am disabled, that I'm not able to take care of myself, that there's something wrong with my brain. So I work really hard, and I have people who tell me all the time that you don't look sick. Well, what I have is not a disease that's going to make my face look like scrunched up or my hands like this. It's something I feel in my body, like the fibromyalgia. And one day I'll do a show on fibromyalgia so everybody can understand where fibromyalgia is. But it is a condition that I'm in chronic pain, and I'm in pain every day. But I work hard to not look like what I've been through and not to look like what I'm going through. It is a pride thing with me. I just don't want people to feel sorry for me. But I think that if I share this information, that you may say, well, I know somebody who's like that too. And you give them some grace and let them know they can talk to you. So that's where it comes in. If you have it and you know somebody who has it, be a friend and let them know that they can talk to you, that their secret is safe with you. And again, they talk about, again, their regular exercise and expect. I love you too, darling. Thank you so much. Thank you. It says, expect your mood to get better slowly, okay? Have realistic expectations for yourself. Feeling better takes time. It really does. And it said, eat well, balanced, and healthy meals. That's another thing why I'm slacking. I can't expect to feel better if I'm filling myself with all the sugar, all of the stuff. It's not good for you, and it's not going to help the imbalances get better. So stay away from alcohol and drugs. That makes the depression worse. I'm doing that part. All right. And it says delay big decisions until that depression has lifted. Before deciding to make a significant transition, like changing jobs, getting married, divorce, whatever, discuss it with others who you know well and have more of an objective view of your situation. Remember this, that people rarely just snap out of depression, but they can feel better, a little bit better each and every day. And be patient with yourself and try to focus on the positive. This may help reduce negative thinking that is a part of depression. Negative thoughts will disappear as your depression responds to the treatment. These are all good things, really. Oh my gosh, love it. Okay, I'm finished with that one. So some key points about SAD. Again, to just reiterate that, it is a type of depression that happens during a certain season of the year. There is no clear cause of this, but they do feel, again, it's that less sunlight and shorter days that are thought to be linked to chemical change in the brain. So it's not your fault. It's not something wrong with you, that you're not normal. You're okay. But this is something that will happen when it gets darker. That melatonin it is produced more, and that may help make you sleepier and drowsier and just not feeling happy. But there is good news here. There's good news. There's so much that you can be happy about. And you have some people in your life who cares for you if you would just speak up. So in general, it says nearly everyone depression has those ongoing feelings of sadness, and they may feel helpless, hopeless, and irritable. But you are not hopeless. You're not hopeless. There is hope for you today. And they didn't say anything in this, but I'm here to say, and I'm here to tell you that talking to God about it. And for me, you're always going to hear that I'm listening to music, listen to uplifting music, my praise and worship music. Yesterday in church, just telling God about it, I had the audacity to say, I am not crying in church. Every time I go to church, I'm just crying. I'm not crying today. I'm not even taking no tissue. I'm going to be all right. I'm just going to worship and tell God about it. I don't need to cry. Y'all know that was complete foolishness, right? Complete foolishness. Because when we went into praise and worship, when I began to think about where I was maybe 2-3 years ago to where I am today, and to know that it is nothing but the goodness of God and how far He's brought me, the tears flowed. The tears started, and I cried off all my little makeup. And guess what? One of our hospitality people and greeters was right there with a big old tissue box. And every time I needed a tissue, just snorting all over the place, lifted my hands in worship, telling God, thank you. Thank you. Because no matter how bad I feel, I know that God is still good. He is still on my side. He is still blessing me. And I'm here to tell you tonight that I am a living, breathing testimony of the goodness of God. Because what you see is, you don't know behind the scenes. You don't know. So sometimes what it takes to get ready for the show, to get my setup. If you saw my setup, you were like, nah, Victoria, for real, for real. But I'm here. I want to read you something that I wrote. It's on my blog site. So if anyone would like to read some of my blogs, you can go to victoriaehenderson.com. And my blog is called Still Waters. I wrote this, I believe it was in 2017. Yes, in 2017. And I called this particular blog, I'm going to read it just as it says, and blessings on top of blessings. And this is my wish. These are my wishes for you. And I'll explain it. It's called Blessings on Top of Blessings. We are officially in the holiday season. I can't believe I'm just gonna say this. I just can't believe I wrote this in 2017, and it is appropriate for tonight. And I just thank God for bringing it to my remembrance that I had something about being sad on the blog. We are officially in the holiday season. Yay! I see the trees and the decorations, and we have parades. There are long lines at the grocery store, and I am a little cold at times. Yep, it's here. I also see on Facebook a lot of posts about people passing, and it struck me that so many do not enjoy the holidays at all, as they remember all the past holidays and the loved ones who are gone. If you are a little sad like me, I want to wish you a holiday season that will be blessed beyond measure this year. I pray that someone blesses you so good that you will not only have a choice but to smile from your heart and not just your face. You understand what I'm saying? If you, there's times I always say that something made me smile from the inside, from my heart, not just a little fake smile that I put on my face, but something made my heart so joyful that it made my cheeks hurt from smiling so good. That's what I wish for you. I pray that God's peace, so much higher than ours, will hover over your house and give you a rest like you have not had all year. I also pray that you will take steps to take care of yourself more than ever. Some people just don't understand that profound sadness that can creep in even when we are among a crowd of people. You understand what I'm saying? That you're around people, but you feel so alone and sad. So do something nice for yourself and know you are so very worth it. If no one does anything for you, I challenge you to step outside of yourself and do something nice for someone else. There is something that God will use you to bless someone else with that only you can do. Only you can reach that person. Take some time to listen to his direction and be used by him during this holiday. I pray blessings on top of blessings for you and your family. Remember to count each and every one of them, and don't sweat the small stuff. I'm just amazed that God brought that back to be used tonight. And that is my prayer for you, that understanding about sad, that everyone is not looking at this as a joyous time, but even if it is you, we can do better. We can help somebody else. We can come outside of ourselves to help someone else. And in doing so, we're going to be blessed. Our spirits are going to be blessed. We're going to be lifted up. And I pray that for you. Again, I pray that. I truly and sincerely do, that you know that you're not alone. And again, we're on this life. We're on this path together. If you need me, I'm here for you. If you want to talk, you can send me an email at Living Life Victoriously 1. That's Living Life Victoriously, just as you hear it, but with the number 1 at gmail.com. Living Life Victoriously 1 at gmail.com. Also, if you want to come on the show and talk with me about victory, about how you've achieved some victory in your life, how you've made it through. It is only by our testimonies that we are going to be able to help someone else. I truly believe it with everything in me, that I know that is my life's motto. If I can help somebody, then my living will not be in vain. And it's not in vain, because I know that this is my purpose and my calling is to help somebody else to know that you're just not alone. And as is my custom, I want to say that this show tonight is dedicated to my oldest daughter, Victoria Henderson. Victoria has had some challenges. She was in a car accident a few weeks ago and lost her car. She killed a deer, but the deer destroyed her car. And in the face of all her challenges, I see that resilient spirit in her. I see the warrior, and I want her to know how very much I love her, how very much I'm proud of her, and I will always be in her corner to push and uplift and to encourage and to let her know you got this. And I see the warrior woman in her, and I just want to tell her I'm proud of her. So again, if you will have any comments, concerns, likes, just again want to be on the show, living life victoriously 1@gmail.com. That is it for tonight. But I hope that there is someone who has benefited from what I had to say. Didn't have too many people on tonight. I thank you, Paula, for being with us. I thank anybody who watches the replay. Just let me know how you liked it. And I will see you again in 2 weeks. I'm not sure the date, but in 2 weeks from today, I'll be back for another episode of Living Life Victoriously. Until then, know that you are victorious and that you are loved, you are special, you have a purpose. And I'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a good night, everyone. See you then.
I pray something you heard on today's show has helped you and has given you the encouragement to keep on pressing. Let me know your thoughts. You can send me an email at livinglifevictoriously1@gmail.com. Also, for more inspirational content, you can check out my blog called Still Waters over at wordpress.com. Walk in victory daily and join me the second and fourth Mondays of each month. Remember, live life victoriously.